Good morning everyone, welcome back to the vlog. In today's episode, we are going to be headed down to Batangas Racing Circuit. We're going to be meeting up with Windy and the Mazda team so that we can go practice for the endurance race that's happening next weekend. We have arrived safely. Here's the Miata Cup car. Remember Dawn from the last video? Windy is our other driver. Setting up the lap timer. And we're all set. Gab is following, so she'll be here maybe in an hour or so. We just did some laps in the car just to test it. Here's my best time, 2:02:34, and then I did about 10 laps. So it's not such a bad time. It's a good time to start with, especially since I haven't been to this track in ages. And we're gonna find out what the other Cup car time is so that we can compare notes. And obviously when Gabby gets here, her time will be one of our benchmark times because she is the pro driver. Next driver's up. Windy's gonna test the car out. We adjusted the rear shocks just a little. I find the car a little too stiff because we see the traction control turning on and you could feel the rear brake biting when we're going through corners. Gabby just got here and she's out right now, so we're all headed up to the top so we can watch her. I did a 2:01:77 on my first out lap and then the clutch started sliding, so I don't know how Gabby's doing now with the car. Gab just came in, the check engine light just came on, hoping it's nothing major. Just finished another outing session. We're now changing some brake fluid because the brakes were a little spongy in a sense. I did turn off the traction control and I was able to just get consistent 202s. Gabby's doing almost a 158 something, which means I'm like 3 seconds slower, which means I need to get some pointers from her to see how to improve and yeah, shave off like at least a second or 2 seconds. So on the R bend, she was mentioning that instead of downshifting on top of the hill, she actually just goes into the turn on the higher gear and then just downshifts as she's turning in. So I'm gonna try that out if I get another session. Sadly, they're releasing some motorbikes right now, which means we have to share the track. So it's like a 20-minute bike and then 20-minute car, which super sucks. So hopefully next outing, if I don't get to bring out the Miata, we'll bring out the SVJ because it's almost the end of the day as well. So we're gonna get some laps in that baby as well, because I think Gabby and Windy are gonna go next in the next session. But so far the car is handling really well. I have no complaints, just happy to be back on track and driving again. So hopefully the day ends well and we can just continue the pace and be ready for next week. We do have to review the whole car, flush the brake fluid, double check the gearbox and all the oils and fluids, and then be ready for the race next Friday, Saturday. It's so heavy. just got back from taking out the SVJ on track, and wow, it's actually very heavy, especially after comparing it to the Miata. The car is so heavy. I wasn't able to push it, but we're already doing like a 157, which means pretty good. But with that car, I think we should be at like the 135, 38 bracket, and so far. But then again, yeah, I literally have not even super broken it in, so I wasn't really planning to get a fast time, just more feel the car and listen to it because it sounds so good. It really is such a fast V12 car. So right now we're just packing up. We're gonna call it a day soon because the brakes of the Cup car are fading a little already and the SVJ is so dirty. But today was an awesome day and I'm just glad that all the drivers are doing well. I probably am the slower driver amongst the three of us, but I think my pace is decent enough for us to get a position for the endurance. One of the major advantages of the Miata is our fueling strategy. Because of the economical weight and engine, I think fueling wise we should be able to just do 3 stops. That's the whole plan for next week's endurance. Hopefully that pans out. The car needs to be brake flushed, fluid flushed, and then maybe figure out what's happening with the overheating pad. So I actually turned off the traction control when I went out and I think it helped me a little. Right now I think Gab's gonna try turning it off and seeing if she can get more laps without having the brakes fade. So what happens in the corners, you feel the rear caliper biting, which means it's technically overheating the fluid even if you're going in a straight line. And because we're going so fast and it's correcting the rear from stepping out on this Miata are not vented, they're just the solid steel discs, which means it is heat soaking the fluid, and maybe that's why we're having a deep pedal. But anyway, we're probably going to end the vlog here. I don't know if I have enough content for today, but I'm just so happy that today worked out and we're all safe. So hopefully next week we can perform. I want to thank Mazda Philippines, Windy and Gabby for joining me in this practice/shakedown. But yeah, I'll see you guys next week here again at PRC. Cheers!